Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about Cardi B needing to go back inside, stay in there because evidently she has no clue as to what is truly going on with Stefon Diggs and Christopher Blake. And now a lot of married women they are coming out to say Cardi B should have never came out and said anything in Stefan Diggs' defense because no matter how long you're with a man, you'll never truly know that man. And there's always someone who will know that man more than how you, the wife, the baby mama, the girlfriend, knows that man. Let's get into it, guys, because as Celine Dion says, this is getting serious. It is getting serious. And I like the fact that there are older women who are coming out to impart wisdom on Cardi B. But the thing is Cardi B gonna listen? Is she gonna take these women feedback into consideration? Will she ever take their advice? I don't think so. Because as I've said to you guys, Cardi B is a ticky boom boom. A ticky boom boom is someone that is ticked off easily. They'll stand up and they'll speak out for literally anyone. They'll fight for anyone if they see what they believe is injustice. It doesn't have to be what they are necessarily seeing, but if they see things a particular way, they're going to stand up for what they believe in, right? So what Cardi B is doing, Cardi B is standing up for what she believes is right. But what Cardi B needs to ask herself is she right? Is she right? And what Cardi B needs to remember is that the Offset she married was not the Offset she's divorcing. It's not the Offset she's divorcing. So if the Offset that she married is not the Offset that she's divorcing, why would she think that the Stefon Diggs that she met is the Stefon Diggs she's fighting for? This is what I've always said about Cardi B. It seems as though Cardi B doesn't sit down and put a chain of thought together to say, you know what? Am I right about this or am I wrong about this? Because she's fighting for this man and now we have Christopher Blake who is telling her, boo boo, I was there before you. This situation predates you. I know this man more than you. There are things that I know that clearly you don't. And for me to prove you wrong, I would have to disrespect you. And I don't want to disrespect you because if I disrespect you, not only would I be disrespecting you, I will also be disrespecting other women. And Cardi B is not realizing that this guy, Christopher, is doing her a favor. It doesn't matter how many times Christopher's story has changed and is changing. It is natural from people who have experienced some amount of trauma, people who are actual victims, and people who are accusers, right? Because we have to say accusers. The victims are the ones where what they have, accused an individual of as proven to be right a lot or right for the most part. So at this point in time, we have to say Christopher Blake is still an accuser, right? Even though we've seen video evidence that this man was in fact attacked and beaten up. Even now, he has the video on his Instagram story showing that he was in fact attacked and beaten up. And what Christopher is saying, in his counterattack against Cardi B, Christopher is saying, who is Nigel King? What are the chances that there's another guy with an identical experience to mine, right? And in case you guys don't know who Nigel King is the concierge guy who Stefon Diggs hired to move his Ferrari from Massachusetts to Miami, then from Miami to New York, right? Or from Massachusetts to New York, then to Miami, because it was based on Stefon Diggs' itinerary. The guy got the Ferrari to the first leg of Stefon Diggs' request, and he got the Ferrari to the second leg, which is the final leg of Stefon Diggs' request. But when the car got to the final destination, the car went missing. The concierge guy, Nigel King, filed a police report. The police investigated and found that, yes, the car was in fact stolen. The police theorized that the car was stolen by a third party. But the police never had Nigel King, the concierge guy, as a suspect. There was nothing that was incriminating Nigel King. No, I want you guys to look at the side-by-side play between Christopher Blake and Nigel King, right? Stefon Diggs gifted Christopher Blake a diamond watch on the night of the alleged incident, the night that they are alleging that Christopher Blake stole from Stefon Diggs. Hence why they went to beat up Christopher Blake and rob Christopher Blake, right? Christopher Blake was attacked on 2 separate occasions, beaten up, robbed on 2 separate occasions, right? So, what are the chances that Christopher Blake was gifted a diamond watch, then he was accused of stealing from Stefon Diggs, then he got beaten up and robbed, right? Nigel King. Nigel King was gifted a diamond rainbow necklace, allegedly. Allegedly. The diamond rainbow necklace is something that Stefon gifts among members in his pact, right? The group of male, they have the rainbow diamond necklace. There are people on his team who have the necklace as well, right? But what are the chances that after Nigel King was gifted the rainbow diamond necklace, Nigel King got accused of robbing Stefon Diggs of the Ferrari? After Nigel King got accused of stealing from Stefon Diggs, Nigel King's image and reputation was ruined without evidence, right? And if you believe that someone has stolen from you, someone who you loved and trust has taken from you, right? How did you get to hating the person so quick without evidence that you decide that you're gonna take the law into your own hands, you're gonna get this person beaten up, and not only are you gonna get this person beaten up, you're gonna get them robbed. That's what happened to Christopher Blake and Nigel King. And I want you guys to check this out, right? When Christopher Blake was getting beaten up, it was Derez Diggs, Stefon Diggs' brother, who was there. Okay? When Nigel King was getting beaten up in that club, one of Stefon Diggs' brother was there as well. And guess who is the brother? Derez Diggs. So what are the chances that both men, both accusers against Stefon Diggs, they have identical, the situations? Why is it that they bear such great resemblance? if these men are such liars. Like, if they are such liars, why is it that they are, in fact, ounces of truth and a lot of, like, quite a few ounces as well? Quite a few ounces, right? So, the point is, at what point will Cardi B say to herself, it's not going to be right for me to come out here and defend this guy, even if that's what I want to, because the internet, they're going to come back and they're going to use this against me at the simplest of opportunities that they get. They will come back and they'll use this against me. And the thing is that if the internet comes back and uses this against Cardi B, they have every right to, because Cardi B is out here and it can be deemed that she's trying to intimidate a witness. It can be deemed that way. And who is known for bad behavior and bullying tactics other than Cardi B? Right? So the thing is, Cardi B needs to protect herself. She's not protecting herself. And I think that is where some of her fans are getting like, we're tired. Why are you doing this? You don't have to do this. We would hope that you not do this. People are hoping that Cardi B would actually see the light, not do this, and just, you know, do what she can behind the scenes because they can't tell her not to. They can't tell her not to, right? No. There's one thing I've observed, right? I have observed that a lot of people, like they're telling Cardi B she should have never had a baby with Stefon Diggs. And I'm going to say that's people stepping out of their boundaries because Cardi B is an individual and she has a right to reproduce, okay? We can say the way in which she has been reproducing, it goes against Bible principles. We can say that, but, while we can say that, it is not our right to tell someone to reproduce or not to reproduce. So I think people need to pull their brakes on that one and not do that. Do not tell her, she should not reproduce. I think that's a little bit too much. I think it's a little too much, okay? But other than that, everything that you're advising Cardi B about, it's right. They are right to advise her not to say anything. And you know what? She has already said it, so it's too late. And I believe that if the opportunity should present itself, she is going to do it all over again. I believe if the opportunity should present itself, like hell, she's going to do it again. I think that this is just who Cardi B is to her core. It's her nature, and she's just not going to change, right? That's what I believe. She's not gonna change. No matter what the lessons are, Barney will always be Barney. But man, it's sad that this is happening. It is sad that she cannot allow a case to take place. She did the same thing with Chef Mila, and it was Tasha K who came out and said, you're not supposed to say anything to the accuser because it can be deemed as intimidatory tactics. It can be viewed as a form of intimidation. So you would think that Cardi B, even though she got, Tasha K a slap, basically with a fine, You would think that she would still remember the advice from Tasha K to say, you know what? This woman, I may not like her, but at least I can take her advice. I can take her feedback into consideration. But evidently, that's not how Barnaby rolls. I think Barnaby sees herself because she has been so fortunate to get away with a lot of things, even things that people would not get away with under normal circumstances. I think Cardi B sees herself as being so fortunate that she sometimes thinks that she might be above the law or even untouchable, but she needs to chill. She needs to chill. You can support the people that you love in many ways, but trying to come out here and trying to sway the public's opinion and to call an accuser a lie, someone who has clearly been, you know, under this guy's radar long before you, I think it's just wrong of her and she needs to do better. Just do better as a person because it's not a good look for Barney B. But I don't think she even cares. I don't think she cares. She doesn't care. But anywho, guys, that's all I have to share in this video with you all. We're gonna talk some more in the comments section. Peace.